How's it going, guys? Welcome to the FM Dugout. I'm back. Alright, it's been 8 months since the last video, so I have to give you some kind of explanation, but without this video turning into a cringeworthy sob story. Yeah, I'm basically burnt out, guys. I had too many commitments and this channel was the easiest thing to drop. I can only apologise for not giving any kind of update, but I doubt anyone's been sitting on the edge of their seats for the last 8 months waiting for the next FM Dugout video. So I'm back anyway. Football Manager 17 came out and I got the bug again, wanted to play it, wanted to share my experiences with a wider audience. So yeah, we're going to try 1 to 2 videos a week, one series, and we'll see how that goes. If you don't like the series, sorry, but that's the way it's going to be. Hopefully you'll stick around, hopefully you will enjoy the challenge. I'm looking forward to it. So it's the British Steel Challenge. Some of you might know it, some of you won't. It's been around for a few years, where you have to try and win all of the leagues and cup competitions in England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland and Wales. You have to start off as a Sunday League footballer reputation manager, and you can start off at a club or you can be unemployed. I've gone for the purest approach and started as an unemployed manager. You can only use British and Irish players, which means that if you have any foreign players at your club, you cannot play them. You're just going to have to sell them. So it's going to be very interesting when that gets into the higher leagues to see how that kind of pans out. And obviously now with Football Manager 17, we have Brexit scenarios introduced, ranging from the soft one with minimal impact to the hard one that will have a huge impact on the Premier League, as it restricts the number of players that I think you can have at your club. You can have 4. I don't think it's how many you can play. I think it's all down to employment. So that's going to be really interesting, but obviously shouldn't affect me in my journey directly, because I have a self-imposed rule. So that's the challenge. There's a total of 16 leagues and 19 cup competitions to win. I haven't tried this before, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. In terms of the manager stats, I've chosen to opt for working with youngsters to try and help develop youth players through the system at any club I'm at. I've also gone for motivating, just to try and give me the edge on match day with team talks. So, what jobs are available? I've already looked at these, just so I can kind of see which ones are available, which ones I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm scared of the Irish, Welsh and Northern Irish leagues because I just don't really know much about them, so I'm kind of shying away from these at the moment. I think if I chose a team there, I would probably want to choose one at a club where I was likely to win the league straight off the bat, which I felt was a bit like cheating, so I don't really want to do that. So it kind of leaves England and Scotland, and there are no conference Panorama National or the North or South, so I think my chances of getting any of those jobs at the moment here from League 2 onwards are, non-existent. So it kind of leaves Stirling as the only option. It seems like a decent team to go. They have been kind of fairly high, and they've fallen of recent. 2 seasons ago they were in the league above. They got promoted by finishing 3rd, so hopefully we could, if we got this job, we could win the league perhaps. Decent sized stadium as well. They've already played St Johnstone. I presume that's in the new format, League Cup. Okay, so I'm going to apply for this job, and I'll come back, assuming I get the job. When I do get a job, I will come back and I'll see you in a minute. Right, so Stirling Albion it is. We got the job. I did actually say that I would win the league, so we'll see how that plays out over time. I might end up getting sacked at the end of the year if I don't win it. So they've played 2 other games since St Johnstone. It was actually just a friendly. They lost 2-0 at home to Brecon and 2-1 against Ballymena. So yeah, not a great start. I've just had a look at the fixtures, and I'm due to play Inverness Cali Thistle in the Betfred Cup in 3 days time. Now, I haven't made any signings because I've literally just taken over. Normally I would want to show games like this, but these to me are going to be learning experiences as part of the whole process of bedding in at the club, signing new players, getting fitness levels and so on, up to where they should be. So I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back for the Annan game and if I go on too long in this video, I'll separate that out into a separate video, so we'll have the kind of analysis stuff beforehand, and then we'll get the game as a separate episode, because some people just like to see how the games go. So anyway, let's have a look at the squad first of all, in terms of who we have. So not a great sign that the best player we have is on loan. Scott Davidson, centre back, a target man as a striker, probably favours me playing the 4-2-3-1 formation that I favour. That's 3 right wingers here apparently that are really good. So bit of competition for the right wing anyway, and another right winger there. I'm hoping these guys can play in the left. He can. Okay, so not amazing. I think they are all Scottish, or oh dear, there we go. Moses, I can't play you, buddy. That's a shame. It actually seems like a pretty versatile kind of player, so he's gonna have to go. God, it feels like Donald Trump here, just getting rid of anyone who isn't from this country. But yeah, he's gonna have to go. So tactics wise, I've had a quick look here. Based on where we are at the moment, I'm probably looking to play a kind of counter attack, 4-2-3-1, looking to kind of hit teams on the break, dropping slightly deeper. I don't know whether or not I want to kind of go with more direct passing. I'm kind of sticking with mixed at the moment. I do like shorter passing style play, but maybe at this level it doesn't work that well. Going for early crosses, running at the defence, yeah, mixed crosses as well, so not doing too much here. Passing into space is one that I really wanted, because I think at this level players generally aren't very good. Awareness, their ability to pick a pass and so on isn't great, so I just kind of want them to have a higher tempo game to try and move the ball on if the other team are closing us down quickly. So yeah, gonna cut it here. That's just a whirlwind tour. Probably look at it in a bit more detail once I've made some signings and we get to the point of playing against Annan in our first league game. So I'll catch you in a minute. Okay guys, that's us at the opening day of the Ladbrokes League 2 campaign, and we play Annan Athletic away from home. Annan, we are tipped to finish 9th, so really a game we should be looking to win if we have any kind of aspirations of finishing in the top spot, or even in the playoffs I suppose. But that kind of brings up an interesting thing, because getting promoted doesn't count as part of this challenge. You have to win that league. So I'm kind of wondering what I do if I finish somewhere between 2nd and 4th, that I throw one of the games so that I can potentially have another crack at the League 2 title. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. In terms of what's going on since the last time, obviously I've made some signings, so let's take a look at those just now. Probably not many names that many of you will be familiar with. On the way out, Moses Olanrewaju, I'm actually quite glad I've got rid of him because I can't pronounce his surname. He's joined Cove Rangers on loan, taking on his £50 a week wage, so I suppose it frees up a bit of money in that sense. I think his contract's up next year anyway. Yeah, it is, so that's fine. He'll be away next summer. In terms of who came in, Tom Lang, formerly of Birmingham and Rangers, I believe. Yep. Not the most amazing centre-back, but given the fact that he is only 19 years old, there's a good chance that he'll be able to develop as the course of the season progresses. And he is, as far as the coaching staff are concerned, as good, if not better, than our current centre-backs. Another Rangers tie here, Jordan Gibson has come in on loan. Quite versatile, can play in a number of positions. I had brought him in initially to play in the left wing, but he's now going to play in the attacking midfielder central position as I managed to find someone else. Some good skills, very, very quick. Maybe not quite so good for the advanced playmaker position. You know, I've not seen many double figures. Certainly if we look at from a winger's point of view, he's quick enough, but his crossing's maybe not particularly good. Next up, Stuart McCall, which is the reason why Jordan Gibson will be playing in the centre. Formerly of Annan, Clyde, Stranraer, so he's fairly well seasoned in the lower leagues. He's actually played really well since he's signed. 3 goals in 3 starts, 1 assist, 1 man of the match, so not too bad at all. As you can see again, pacey, his crossing is actually a bit better than Gibson's, so he's quite well suited to that left wing. Next up, Jamie McCluskey, 28-year-old former Dundee player. Looks like it was many years ago that he played for Dundee. As you can see, it was an older top there. Yeah, I think I'm really quite pleased with signing him. I know on the right wing we had quite a lot of good players, but if we look at his stats here, you can see most of them are actually double figures to play as a winger. Obviously passing technique a little bit below, but he's had a decent start. 3 assists in 3 games. Actually he did assist quite a lot of McCollum's goal. Crosses from the right wing going to the back post where McCollum came in. Next up, Aaron Duke, young Northern Irish striker who can also play in the attacking midfielder or out wide. So you've seen the kind of pattern develop here that all the guys I'm trying to sign support that 4-2-3-1 wide formation. He's 2 goals and 3 starts in the Betfred Cup. His performances haven't been that good, so he's just been kind of taking his chances as and when they've come along. I think he's got decent ability. I think he'll probably be okay this year, maybe going into next year, depends if he advances. And last up we have Craig Murray, who I brought in a free transfer again for the central midfielder role. We're a little bit lightweight there, but there's not that many options available. I have been trying to get loans from all of the SPL's under 20s teams, and despite having many bids accepted, the players just simply don't want to come here to play the football, which is fair enough. Murray looks to be fairly reasonable for this kind of level, but since joining the team he wasn't able to play once. He's picked up a groin strain and he's out for a month and a half, so not the ideal start to his time at the team. So let's take a look at the fixtures that we had. So obviously the first game was up against Inverness Cali Thistle away from home, and this game, well, we got taught a bit of a lesson, to be honest. In the first half, why is this taking so long? In the first half, we got annihilated. We were 4-0 down in the first 30 minutes. 2 goals back in the second half, as we tried to kind of claw back some dignity. As you can see from the ratings, we just weren't at the races. It was an easy game for Cali Thistle. No complaints from me. That was just the way it was going to end up. Next up we had Queen of the South, who are in the Championship, and we managed to beat them on penalties, which meant we got 1 point for the draw and 1 point for the penalty win, which was really quite pleasing. Meant that we were on 2 points after 2 games, which was more than I had anticipated. As you can see though, very much against the run of play, Queen of the South were just very wasteful in front of goal, and we managed to get it, so I was quite pleased with that. Elgin City, who are in our league, were next. This was a tough game. I think they'll be quite difficult to beat this year. They played a 4-3-3, which I'm never really comfortable playing against, with 4 at the back, because you always have that striker that plays in the kind of central role, just slotting between your 2 centre backs. And that man was Craig Gunn, and he scored. And he's been a problem for a number of Football Manager games when I've taken Scottish lower league teams. He always seems to pop up with the goal, but we managed to win the game. Aaron Duke getting a goal just after half time. Ross McMillan later on with a tap in front of goal. Then the next game, Stranraer, who are in League One above us, we played an absolute blinder in terms of taking our chances. We had 7 shots on target and scored with 5 of them. As you can see again, Stranraer, much like the other games, kind of bossed the possession and certainly had a number of shots, but they just weren't clinical enough. Chris Smith on a 7.4 had a great game. Tom Lang, I think, gave away 2 penalties. Yeah, he did. Gave away 2 penalties. Craig Malcolm scored the first and missed the second. Stuart McCall with a double. Jordan Gibson scored an own goal from the keeper, and Aaron Duke again. So positive stuff with playing a team from the league above and being able to get that sort of result was really, really good. So that left us on 8 points. We actually finished second. If I look at the groups here, you can see that we finished only 2 points behind Cali Thistle, and we had slightly better goal difference than Stranraer. So we finished second, but unfortunately we couldn't qualify as one of the best second place teams. To be honest, it's not the thing I was kind of looking for. I don't think I will win the Betfred Cup whilst at Stirling Albion. The one that we might be able to do was the League Challenge Cup. So we played Motherwell's Colt team, the under-20 teams. Of course, they now take part in the Challenge Cup along with Northern Irish teams and Welsh teams, I think, as well. As you can see, we had 5 bookings in this game. Quite a rough match from our point of view. But unlike the other games, we were pretty much in control of this match. Probably should have been more than 1-0, but Eddie Ferns popped up with a goal in the 72nd minute, which put us through into the next round, where I believe we play Peterhead. Yep, away from home against Peterhead. So that'll be quite a tough game because they are in League One, also a challenging venue to go to. Anyway, we'll get on with today's match against Annan. We can see how the team's lining up for it. Fitness-wise, not amazing, just given the fact we've been playing competitive matches and we can't rotate the team a great deal with the substitutes, only being able to name 7 and use 3. Ross McGeechee is not quite back. I would prefer to bring him in on a home game. This is our favoured starting 11 at the moment, so I think I'm just going to progress into the game. Away from home, generally start off with the counter-attacking formation and change the mentality to attacking if things look like we could take advantage. Annan going fairly, well, I wouldn't say defensive, but they're being cautious in a 4-4-1-1 formation. We've got 2 ball-winning midfielders, so we're kind of set up to have a solid back 6 and just hit them on the counter. So we'll see how it goes today. Let's see if the motivation skills will help. Well, 2 out of 11, not too bad. And yeah, we're good to go. That's actually quite a nice ground for Annan, fully enclosed. I wasn't expecting that. Alright guys, so hopefully this is going to be the start of something good at Stirling. We'll see how it goes. As Verlaque, I don't know how you pronounce his name, maybe Verlac. Sounds too French. Honestly thought he was French rather than Scottish. Get a chance early on to put the ball in, and it could be a break here for Annan. McKenna comes away. He's given away possession. Surely McCluskey picks up and loses the ball. Scottish football, you've got to love it. Just full of mistakes here. Potentially a chance here for Annan if they can get by Verlaque. They do. Into Asgar, into McCarthy. Nice move, and it's a goal for McKenna. That is not the start we really wanted. Goal down in the first 5 minutes. And I think David McKenna was actually one of our players before. He might have been here at least Stirling, I never remember. So, let's see if we can get the boys to respond to some shouts from the halfway line. Pretty uneventful first half, to be honest. 4 shots at goal, not 1 in target, so clearly I'm going to tell them not happy with that. And as you can see, the motivation skills really not doing a great deal. Nobody seems to be too bothered about the criticism that I'm dishing out. Let's see. Yeah, maybe a few people. I think for the second half, what we have to come out and attack. We have to try and create something, change the personnel around after 10 minutes or so if nothing happens. But we really do need to get a goal fairly early in this half if we want to stand a chance of winning. We just haven't been good in front of goal. 5 shots and not a single one in target. McComb on a 6.3 might be an ideal person to come off. Might get a chance here though. Goal kick taken by Smith. McComb picks it up. Surely we'll play it back maybe to Petrie. Nope, he finds a gap for Dixon. Into Gibson, into Duke. Great finish there. Left footed into the bottom right corner. Keeper got a touch. But that was always going to end up in the back of the net. So we're back in it. Plenty of time on the clock. I would expect the Palms rating to go up there given his role in that goal, but it looks as though it's still sticking at 6.3. And I think we'll probably look. Nope, we'll get one more chance, maybe, or is it another break from Annan McKenna to Black? He's not getting closed down here. It's a little bit disappointing that we just backed off. Petrie will now come out to Omar. They're progressing forward a little bit, tracking back. Long ball over the top. Does it get there? Oh. And that's a penalty. That has got to be one of the weakest penalties I have seen. And we may well have lost the points as a result of that. We'll see what happens. Chris Smith has made a couple of really good saves. He saved the penalty against Stranraer, so can he do it again here? Dramatic. No, he can't. So we're going to have to change things around to try and get something out of this game. So I think what I'll do is bring on Eddie Ferns. He's been pretty good off the bench. I think Duke could still do a job from there. Not a great deal of depth in the team in terms of options that we can change things around, and obviously if we may end up getting injuries this year, it could prove problematic. I was thinking of going overload there, but we might lose a third here anyway. Win the ball back. Hodge breaking away. Who's he got in front of him? Is he on his own? He is. Surely we'll go wide left. Wrong again. Duke now. 25 yards. Hodge plays it through to Gibson, and it's off the inside of the post. Really unlucky there. We're going to go overload. We're going to go for it. We have to. I don't think there's anything we can do formation wise to change things around at the moment, other than maybe going with two strikers, but we've got injury time left. McCluskey now forward. Duke looks for Gibson. Can he find anyone in the box? Whips it in, and it's headed away. And now Annan will break. Surely here McKenna holding up the play, bringing it back into his own half, and Annan just happy to pass it around here, to be honest. Well, it looks as though we're not going to get the positive start we're kind of hoping for here, and it's going to be 3-1 now, surely. Well, McMillan managed to get the block in there, but we have a minute left in the clock, and the ball is in the wrong half. McKenna with a header just over the bar. I mean, I think it's one of those games, if we'd been a bit better in front of goal, we probably would have got something. The penalty was a little bit on the soft side. Well, I can't see too much about it. I think as long as we can win our next game, presumably at home, nearly a chance there for Duke in the dying seconds, but I think that will be it. It'll finish 2-1 to Annan. Not a great start. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to tell them I'm not happy, because they should really be winning that game. Didn't get the right sort of response I was looking for there. How are things looking then in the league? Forfar top of the league, 3-0 win for them. So yeah, okay. Can't have it all the time. I mean, we had a good run before now. In fairness, I probably would have rather have lost more in the Betfred Cup and won that game. But anyway, that will be this episode for now. I think the game will probably come back for, given that they're favourites to kind of win the league, is probably going to be either the away game against Forfar, maybe even the home game. Try to get a bit of momentum in terms of the games run. Just see how it goes. Pick one of the Forfar games, and that'll be it for this episode. So hope you guys have enjoyed the return of the channel, and hope you're looking forward to the rest of this series. Not the greatest start, but every start has to start somewhere, so why not with a 2-1 loss away to Annan. Anyway guys, until the next time, I'll see you when I see you.